Hi, welcome to Potato Fire Reviews. Today I'll be talking about the Schiit Lokius Equalizer. An equalizer or tone control is used to adjust the different frequencies in your music to produce a sound to your liking, or to compensate for imperfect systems or recordings. I grew up in a home that had a radio which had an equalizer, but instead of knobs, it had sliders and a light spectrum, which was very pleasing to watch. Since then, I have always been fond of equalizers and prefer to have that feature if I'm using an integrated amp or separate components. Schiit is an American company with manufacturing locations in Corpus Christi, Texas, and Valencia, California. I actually purchased the Lokius in November 2021 when there were supply issues and had to wait 6 weeks for delivery. This is the flat black option, which costs $299, and there's also a silver finish for $319. On the front, there is an input selector, which switches between RCA and XLR input, and a bypass switch, which when in the down position completely bypasses any adjustment from the tone control. There are 6 knobs and each knob has a different frequency. From my right to left, the frequency knobs are as follows: 20 Hertz, sub bass or very low frequencies, 120 Hertz, bass, 400 Hertz, lower mid-range, 2 kilohertz, presence or what makes instruments stand out, 6 kilohertz, treble, 16 kilohertz, high frequency, which adds brightness. On the back, and I'll turn it around, there are XLR and RCA input and output, the power switch and the connection for power. The Lokius has a solid outer case, and on top there are vents which are in a spectrum pattern. The Lokius is a very transparent equalizer, meaning it does not add any distortion. I use it to correct issues that I have with my speakers. For example, with the Klipsch RP600M2, I use the Lokius to adjust the high notes. Depending on your setup, adjusting a frequency too much may produce a sound that you may not like, so I suggest making changes in small increments. When connecting the Lokius to your music rig, if you have multiple sources, the Lokius should be between your preamp and amp. But if you have a single source, you can connect it before your preamp. I connect the Cambridge AXC 35 CD player to my Lokius and then to my integrated amplifier. In this way, I'm able to use the volume on my integrated amplifier to control my music. There's no recommended way to adjust or set the Lokius. The beauty about this device is you turn the knobs until you find a sound that suits your preference. If this is your first equalizer, set all the tone controls to 0 and then turn each knob clockwise and counterclockwise to experience each frequency. If your music source is your computer, the Lokius is not necessary as most of the music players have tone controls. I use foobar to play music and it has an 18-band equalizer, but I do prefer the physical adjustments of the Lokius knobs, and it also helps to complete my stack of separates. Here are some drawbacks of the Lokius. When the power is off, signal still passes through the device, resulting in music being played. When I first found this out, I emailed Schiit asking if I had a defective unit and got a prompt response that it was actually normal. Finally, I don't like the idea of using adapters as power connectors since they take up more space than a standard plug when on a power strip or wall unit. Despite those 2 cons, I highly recommend the Lokius. When describing sound presentation in regard to EQ setting, here are some popular terms which are normally used: dark, prominent bass, and recessed treble. Warm, emphasized full bass with clear mid-range. Neutral, A balanced sound that doesn't place emphasis on any particular frequency. Bright, boost in treble or upper frequencies. V-shaped or U-shaped, bass and treble are emphasized while the mid-range is recessed. If you're new to my channel, consider subscribing and feel free to express your thoughts in the comments. Stay tuned for the review of the 6.5-inch Rel subwoofer. Until next time, cheers.